What is going on, guys? We are heading into the video game retro market, Norwich. So 3rd of August 2025. We'll have a nice walk around and let's see what we can find. Let's go. What is going on, guys? Epix here, and yes, we are back at the video games retro market at the forum in the city of Norwich again. I was asked to go in, or be able to go in early and film, or I was allowed to go in early and film. So this is walk around, why it isn't busy, blah de blah de blah. So as you've seen from the first two stalls, first one you should all know by now, that's Second Chance Treasures. local Yarmouth guys, and always do amazing deals. Always have a great variety of stock for every console, as well as collectibles, Funkos, all sorts of stuff. Really, really nice couple. I did pick up a couple of bits off of them, and we'll go through those now. So nothing special, just a couple of bits I want to add to the collection. First one's for my boy, Lego Star Wars Complete Saga. I'm sure I've already got this for him before, but he seems to say he hasn't got it. So just picked that up for him. So yeah, keep him happy. And then next to it for me, so on the original Xbox, I got, let me just have a look. Okay, yeah, for original Xbox, Midway Arcade Treasures 3. So this has Rush the Rock, Hydro Thunder, Super Off-Road, Badlands, Race Driving, Stun Runner, San Francisco Rush 2049, Off-Road Thunder. Take it out of the baggie. No manual, but it's fine. Not worried about the manuals for the OG Xbox bits. And the last thing I picked up from them was on the PS2, the Extreme Sports collection is Transworld Surf. So Transworld are massive in the skate scene, but they also did bits for surfing as well. It feels quite heavy. Yep. CIB. Awesome condition. So yeah, really, really appreciate guys Second Chance Treasures. Then the second stall was unreal, to be fair. They had some awesome figures on card, loads of stickers and cards, like proper vintage stuff that I collected when I was a kid. Really cool to see. Some loads of signed Funkos and bits and pieces like that as well. So yeah, really awesome stall. Didn't pick anything up from them, but yeah, just really cool to see something a little bit different. Yeah, let's crack on with the footage and see what other stalls are there. Right, so cut them back in from the awesome vintage card and sticker stall. You had the gaming area that wrapped around the corner, or one of the gaming areas right around the corner, and you got to like the entrance, and that's Botwell's alternative, which is the organiser Ricky, his booth. So he had some really nice clean PS1 bits on there, and then also a couple of tables that he does raffles on to win anything on the second and third table, which is pretty cool. And then round the corner, it was differently laid out this time. I'll explain at the end. It was, is it Delahaye Emporium? Had some nice PS1 bits, PS2 bits as well, board games, and then a bit of Pokemon stuff, which is pretty cool. And next to him was a guy I met probably a good 18 months, 2 years ago now. So he used to do a lot of car boots. Met him through there, always happy to do deals and whatnot. And that's Rockshas Retro. I was chatting to him, and yeah, I think he's doing really well with the buying and selling at the moment. So he had, you know, Sega Master System bits, Atari bits, sealed brand new Pokemon cards, ETBs and collection sets, and then some really minty Super Nintendo stuff which I think is out of his collection. I did pick one up for the missus, and that was the Lost Vikings. Actually been looking for this for quite some time. It's still got the Nintendo seal this side. It's got a little bit of sticker damage on the other. But all flaps are present, don't worry Ollie. Inside, manual, really clean. Got the precautions booklet, the insert, and the game that's in a baggie. So yeah, he did me a deal on that. Really happy that we're adding that to the SNES collection. Feel like we haven't added anything to the Super Nintendo collection for a little while now, to be fair. So yeah, awesome to be adding that. Really good price. So thank you ever so much. Now let's carry on and have a look. carrying on, the next guy along from Rockshash Retro was another guy that regularly does car boots. And he has a variety of games and quite a few Pokemon cards now. I didn't buy anything from him, but it's nice to see more of the local sellers coming to the local events to, you know, try and get rid of games and things like that. Then on the corner there was a couple of guys that were just doing Pokemon cards. I did have a word with them about a few cards that I still need, but they didn't have them. They were pretty cool. Then there was 2 empty stalls. One did turn up. I think it's MBK do the manuals for the Switch games, so my daughter was checking them out when they turned up. Really cool concept that, you know, you don't get manuals with games anymore, and the guys put a lot of attention to detail and work into what they craft, so it's really cool to see. But then the next stall was a couple from Ipswich. I was chatting to them, and that was all 3D printed bits, and then some, it's like slate with Pokemon pictures on. Really cool. They were really late getting there due to road closures and whatnot. But so yeah, they were still setting up with some really nice pieces. Behind them was a stall that is normally there, Damnation Party. So they do a lot of pins like anime, earrings, keychains, things like that. And then onto the centre section, which was the last stall in that video. A lot of games for most consoles, you know, NES, Master System, Mega Drive, Xbox 360, PS4, PS3, and Switch. Some really nice consoles as well. And the last game I picked up was off that stall, and that is Mega Drive. It's Blue Spine, and that is Mega Bomberman. Never played this on Mega Drive. I'm sure I played it on the Super Nintendo, but it is CIB at a decent price. Blue Spine Mega Drive, I'm going to pick it up. It's a classic. So yeah, let's have a look at what else there was, and then we'll have a recap at the end.
Perfect.
So that was the last few stalls of the video game retro market Norwich. That was next stall had a lot of pins, anime pins and games, a lot of mid to high end PS2 bits, quite nice to see. On the corner there was Pokemon cards and Funkos. That was Bramble's Emporium. Was chatting to him for a little while as well. Next to him was a stall doing like gaming art and 3D printed Pokeballs. And then the last stall there was Vault 24. So they had like croc pins and comics and Pokemon bits as well. So yeah, that was August the 3rd, video game retro market in Norwich. So there weren't so many gaming stalls there this time, but it is peak season for video game retro markets. So people are obviously going close to home or going to the, the bigger cities and whatnot, which is a shame because we don't get a lot around Norwich. To be fair, I've got a lot of respect for Ricky to keep doing them in Norwich, because it is kind of all we get, and I think people should support him as much as possible. Yeah, I'd say I spoke to Ricky at the end, and he's a little bit gutted with the turnout of vendors, but you can't always win, do you know what I mean? So hopefully it picks up for him in the future. But all in all, really good video game retro market. There was quite a bit of arts and crafty bits, 3D printed bits, Pokemon card, which I don't mind, I collect, so I'm not too fussed. Other people may be more inclined to moan for the fact that there weren't so many video game stalls, but for me it's a community, and I think we need to embrace the fact that people are willing to give up their weekend. Yes, they're probably making more money than what they would on a car boot or whatever, but it's good. I just like to see these events popping up closer to Norwich, in Norwich, because we don't get a lot around here. So yeah, once again, thank you, Ricky. You're a legend. Appreciate being able to film early before entrance, just so it's not so busy, otherwise it would be an absolute nightmare. I hope you did enjoy my pickups, guys, and we'll end you with a bit of footage and the normal outro. If you did enjoy this video, give it a thumbs up, comment down below if you went, or if you see something that you would have bought. Subscribe if you are new or have watched and not yet subscribed. Share the video. I'll catch you on the next one. Goodbye.